albums. You like things like Voyager now, and I'm liking things like Nightwish. I don't know what's going on this year. But
now we're rubbing off on each other. That's a horrible image.
No one wants that visual, Dave. But anyway,
but I did it.
I know. Speaking of, time to get to our first category. Jeff, get yourself ready because you're going to go first. You're going to got the randomizer sitting here ready to go.
Oh, wow.
But the first one off the to-do list today is the best new discovery you made in 2023 but was not released in 2023. We do back catalogue kind of work as we go through things, so it's always important to acknowledge something we discovered that wasn't from this year's new music pool, just something to go through there. But Jeff, over to you. Your discovery from 23 that wasn't from 23.
Yeah, like as I said before in my opening statement, 2023 was just a kind of I thought 2022 was a big year, and then 2023, as you said, we kind of didn't know where we were going to go, and then all of a sudden, we've got all this stuff coming out. And Dave introduced me to a band in this year that I really gravitated to. There was just something about them, and he said, "Look, you got to go back and look at their catalog," which I did. And so I'm proud to say that the 69 Eyes, Universal Monsters, is my pick.
Goodness, that album.
Yeah, it's a great album, and I was like, I liked the stuff that you had put up, and I thought that that song that you did, what was that song?
Murder Takes Two.
Murder Takes Two. Yeah, that was my gateway, and then of course, I thought, well, this is interesting, and I went back and I listened to it, and I was just like, fuck, and I couldn't stop listening to it. So great album. That's my discovery, even though it was released 8 years ago. It's a long time ago, really, in this grand scheme of things. For me, it was new. So, and thanks to Dave doing that. So that was awesome. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Nice.
69 Eyes, Universal Monsters.
Nice. No, any other honorable mentions, or just that's the only one you had there?
Just that for now. That's cool. That's all I put. Yeah. Yep.
Just opening the floor. Yep.
Yep.
Alrighty, Dave, your turn.
Alrighty, I got two. I put the coin, I guess. But yeah, these were two very prominent bands in my top 5 Spotify played songs of the year. But my two best discoveries, one is thanks to Belle. It's In Flames. Sounds of a Playground Fading. It's really hard to pick the best albums from this band because when you smash their entire catalog in 2 weeks, it's like, holy shit, what songs from what album? But there's no fucking dud moment on any of them. So I couldn't even try and rate them, but it'd be cool if we did a deep dive on them. But Sounds of a Playground Fading is a fucking fantastic album. And the 69 Eyes, I went through their back catalog just after they released their album earlier this year, because half of it I hadn't heard, so I went back and did that. And Paris Kills, that is a fantastic album as well. That is where they went full goth, when they moved completely from the glam sleaze straight into the full goth section, which they fucking nailed. So but that In Flames and 69 Eyes albums are both brilliant, so I highly recommend both of them.
Cool. Well, Belle, you'll be happy with that. And now it's your turn.
Very.
I'm happy you recommended it for me, Belle. Champion.
Yeah, you are welcome. I'm always happy to birth another In Flames fan. That sounds weird.
It's the weirdest thing you've ever said to me.
Nicely done. Keep going. This is good.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, look, let me reciprocate because I have to thank you as well for introducing me to bands that I knew about but hadn't delved into, and now can easily say they're some of my favourite bands, and that is Nightwish and Thin Lizzy. So there's been others, but yeah, thank you. Like, they are just insanely good, and I fucking love them. So, cheers, mate. Legend.
Welcome, Belle. I'm glad you get the same love out of these bands that I do.
Yeah.
It's all about.
Just there's something special about those two bands that just they're under my skin, and that won't change. So
I'm good. Nightwish.
Nice.
Thin Lizzy.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Gross.
Cool.
Dave is one of the biggest Thin Lizzy fans that I know. He really is.
Yeah, I noticed.
No, Bell might be
I
giving
can
me a run for my
totally
money.
understand
I created
why.
a monster.
it just when you hear a band for the first time, and I as I said last year actually when we did this, that it's like I discovered the 70s. Yes, I didn't discover the 70s because I obviously knew about the 70s and had heard.
You
70s
started
music,
branching out. Yeah.
I really, just became quite interested in the sound that bands were putting out in the 70s. So, Thin Lizzy were ultimately a 70s band. So, very cool. Damn it. No,
What?
it's me, isn't it?
No, you're all right. We've got you back. You're okay.
Oh, okay, cool. Because everyone just stopped.
No.
All right. So,
Yeah, we're good.
I did make a discovery on my own. Well,
Cool.
Spotify helped me out with this, and that is a little band who no longer are together, but they're called Entwine, and they're a Finnish goth rock band. And I guess it just, I don't know, popped up, and I heard a song, and I just started delving through their catalogue. But the first song I heard was off an album released in 2006 called I'm blanking. What's it called? Fatal Design. And it's awesome. And it's a shame they're not together anymore because they've just got a cool sound.
Yeah.
Cool.
And other songs on there. Like all of their albums are great, but this one in particular, I really just every song I just adore. So
Yeah.
Nice. But it's the worst feeling when you find a band and you find the band's broken up. It's like shit.
it was sad.
Sucks.
It was sad.
You know what? It's kind of relevant, but when I discovered Thin Lizzy, I didn't know Phil was dead. I had no idea. I thought, fuck, maybe there'll be a reunion, and I did some research. Like, oh no, really? I was halfway through the discography. I was just like, oh fuck, really?
When was that, Dave?
I discovered Thin Lizzy 2004, maybe 2004, 2005. Maybe even a bit earlier, like 2002.
20 odd years.
Yeah, 20 years.
Well and truly it happened, yeah.
Yeah, he died in 86. Yeah.
Yeah. Just, they're not one of those, but you talk about the 70s years, Zeppelin, Purple, Sabbath, AC/DC. But everyone knows Thin Lizzy's the best thing
apart from
band in the
hits.
70s.
Yeah. A bit underrated, I think, Thin Lizzy overall. I think they're a bit more credit deserved. We have gone through the discography before, Dave and I. It was a wild ride, that one.
That was fun.
That was fun. Was there anything else you wanted to throw in there, Dave? Oh,
No,
Bell, sorry.
anything else, Bell? Sorry, we jumped in.
Bell, yeah.
No,
Sorry,
that's cool.
I'm losing my mind.
All good.
It's the end of the year, folks. We're all I am in particular. Lost in browsing madness for me. All right, for me, it was a funny old year in this space because I got some honorable mentions. One is, it's not a new discovery, but I want to give this one a shout out. It was an album released last year. We got around to it this year, and it was absolutely fucking phenomenal. That was the Butterfly Effect 4. That was such a good release from 2022. We didn't get to it last year. We did it early this year, and it was like, oh my goodness, what an album. So I was going to give that a shout out. But there was one that I found out on my own or through an email or something, a band called Hangman's Chair out of France, and their album Alona was released in 2022, and that was stunningly good. But then my sort of next, or my one that nearly got the win for me in this regard was actually learning more about Nightwish, and I would consider myself becoming a fan of the band. Dave, you've seen my perspective on this band shift.
I know. It's weird.
Into a few of their albums. You like things like Voyager now, and I'm liking things like Nightwish. I don't know what's going on this year. But
now we're rubbing off on each other. That's a horrible image.
No one wants that visual, Dave. But anyway,
but I did it.
I know. But the Bell's going to throw up in the corner in a second. But
Pick on Chucky.
There we go. But just learning about Nightwish. No, but the the different depths of their catalogue that we've gone through over this year in particular has really sort of, I'm not going to say I'm a diehard fan like a Dave is, for example, but I've learned to really appreciate and respect what they put out for us to enjoy over the years, and becoming more and more of a fan the more I spend time with this sort of stuff. And this sort of began maybe back with the Human Nature album. That was when I first sort of got one that really clicked for me. But ever since then,
I could see the tides turning when we did that.
Yeah, it's been an interesting sort of development. But this year, because we've done like a handful of the albums, a good chunk of the discography year alone.
There's only two more you haven't heard, man.
Yeah, I know. That's where it sort of have revolved into now. So it's like, okay, well, I'm starting to get into it now, which is pretty cool. But the actual winner for me was, I always liked the band overall. When we did the deep dive into Symphony X, going through and actually really learning about that band, the history, finding some albums. Like, I'd only listened to a couple of albums. Going through and really enjoying pretty much the whole catalogue was a really big discovery for me. And that was one of those ones that, you thank the Patreon people for, because they chose the band we're going to do the deep dive on. And that was awesome for us to go through that. So I really did enjoy going through Symphony X's catalogue. That was my highlight this year when it came to, things that I'm not going to single out a particular release, but it was just one of those ones where, that whole discography, going through that band's journey was a big highlight. And I hope we can add their album to 2024.
I hope
hopefully.
So.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
That would be nice to just cap off what's looking to be a banner year. But that's that one. Time.